Welcome back to You Special on NDTV Hindu. Now, apart from the glitz, glamour and all of that, who are these public figures whose lives are being intruded? How can we define public figures if we can do that? Do we say that a person who just throws a shoe at a leader in a day becomes a celebrity? Or maybe somebody like a Rakhi Sawant, some people say, who've been created and hyped by the media itself to become a celebrity. Who are public figures?
And in my perspective, a hyped figure cannot be a public personality. But for me, a public personality has to be very concerned about the society. Whereas Chandi Prasad, he's the former and founder of Chipko movement, but he goes unrecognized, and he was not even called for this Copenhagen meet, and which concerns me. But I'm not being so socialist. But the things have to be changing. But the public figures is not. The public figures are not only needs to concentrate on their moral values, and they also have to stress on how they can help the people, but
change lives of different people as well.
Change the lives of the people. But
so at the same time, they are just like one of us, right?
Yes,
unfortunately, they just have extra responsibility. Maybe.
Unfortunately, the only affluent persons take their lead instead of good personalities coming into the show.
All right. So if they are like one of us, but perhaps affluent, like he says,
his definition of a public personality.
You don't agree with that?
No.
Okay, what is your definition then?
His definition of a public personality was like someone who's helping the society.
A social worker maybe?
Yeah. But only such kind of people end up in controversies, doing
Why do you say that?
things. I mean, you can take that Nityananda itself as an example. He preaches everyone. I mean, the kind of thing you couldn't have expected that he would do such a thing.
But now you don't agree with that point of view, right? As in, it was just his own personal space, and why is the media getting into that? Did the media have any job at all getting into his personal space?
Well, as I said, there shouldn't be much of a line that cares of mixes up these two kind of things. The thing is that Nityananda Swamigal, he's like a big preacher. Most of the people, especially in the religion we follow, the thing is that we used to look at him as a god kind of a figure, as a person who is eternal, a person who would look up, he's omnipresent, and all kinds of praises have been showered at him. He has so many devotees and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When he ends up doing such a thing, it not only affects the mind of the present generation, but the future generation as well. As in, what kind of a role model, or by what the media has done, the future generation, the coming up generation would probably look up to a person and said that after all, we looked up to him for so long, and after all, he's just human. He has just gone back to the aspirations, and for the sake of just pleasure, he has lost the entire faith.
So you're saying, now apart from the work that a person does really, even his personal life becomes a part of his character, his personality, and that really makes an impact on people?
Certainly.
Apart from the job that he does, which he's probably doing well?
And these public figures are greatly admired because they are doing so many good things. For example, Nityananda is really a big personality before he entered into the scandal, but after that he demoralized himself instead of getting into this.
Okay, let's take another example. We are focusing too much on Nityananda. Maybe a Tiger Woods. Okay, he was good at his job, but maybe brands like Accenture and all, which was had him as the brand ambassador, had taken him off. So personal life really had mingled with his professional life and didn't do really well for him. Pass it on the mic. So is the personal life also, does it have an effect on the professional life, or can it be separated from the public?
Yeah, it should be separate. Can you allow someone who is looking into your house? Definitely not.
No.
Yeah, that's what we are saying. There should be a limit. If there is a tennis star, we have to treat him like a human being. First, we can't go into his life by saying you are a star. You should come out of your home, and you can't blame them.
Okay. Now I want to ask that question that I've asked before about politicians. Now you're saying if it's tennis stars, it's you shouldn't get into. But if it is a politician, if it is a civil servant, and you get into that life and you expose him, is that fine?
No, even you can't take a politician. You can't go into his life because media is not that much interested, and people are not that much bothered about the politician. They don't want. They need is a glamour and something about the celebrities. They want about the life of the actors, something like that. That's what media is doing. They are satisfying.
That is really not true, because I think even politicians have been brought to the limelight in many cases. For example, the Mumbai blast, the chief minister, and then another, I don't know his name exactly. A parliament. He was talking about the case. One of the DGPs. Who passed away.
Okay, so there were a lot of politicians also who've been brought, and people have been watching that.
Yeah, I know the Ruchika case, for example, the DGP.
Yes.
I mean, he was a public figure. I mean, he had a lot of power, but then we brought him into the limelight. So I think the media is doing a responsible job of this. And one more definition I would like to talk about, like public figure. See, we have 10, 15 channels now. So, in order for people to watch our channel, we need to show what people like the most. For example, if 7 or 8 channels are showing Sania Mirza case, and we are showing someone helping someone else, people will watch that one. So then if people are watching you, what's the point? We have to only showcase what people want from us.
So aren't we coming then where is really the media's responsibility? If we're coming so much under the pressure of what people want, that's the deciding factor then.
But yeah, people want the Sania case, but now suppose maybe we will be able to bring justice for Aisha. We can. Maybe she was cheated. So we are going to bring justice for her, which can be good too.
That again, probably we'll have to just wait and see until the investigation is over before we can really play the judge's role. But again, you have a different point of view?
I completely disagree with him. But and we should not compare a politician and a sports star. Sports star.
Why not? Both of them are public figures.
Both of them are public figure, but politicians, when you show something bad about a politician, it directly affects us. He's ruling our people, so it affects us. But what is this Sania saga? It doesn't affect
Doesn't affect you?
It doesn't affect me personally.
You don't think it affects your peers? People who look up to Sania, people who say, I want to be like Sania, I want to be like the Tiger Woods, doesn't affect them?
It may affect them, but it's not personally affecting me, because she's taking a moral step which is what you say, which is acceptable to her, but it's not acceptable to many, because I'm ready to accept that she is a big sports star, but not
really accept everything that comes along with. How many of you really don't believe that we really take something away, something from those sports stars? Don't we imbibe anything from their kind of play work? How many of us look up to sports stars and say, hey, I want to be like him? Maybe our little sister, our little brother back home. Does that really happen, or are we really, okay, fine, let them do whatever they want, they don't have any impact on us?
No, I think we Indians have a general tendency to follow their lives. And,
hero worship in a sense.
We do that. So, I think
it can have an impact on be it politician, be it sports star.
Well, I think a public figure, and let me just generalize it and say as a public figure, a person we would not really look on the road and just have a second glance at. We would look at them again and again because they're prominent. The thing is, in case of Sania Mirza case, as he's saying, it's acceptable to many. I think it affects a lot of people. We, having the maturity around 20 or 18 years, we have a certain amount of maturity. But certain kids who just start playing a particular game, for example, I started playing cricket because I worship Sachin. And there's so many, some of my sisters or some of my friends might look up to Sania Mirza and say that if we can hype her up so much and bring her to the stage she is, then I think we have the right to tell the people what's really going on in her life. As in, certain people might be happy with just looking at her the sports career of hers, but if she is facing a problem or such kind of a hype which is causing her such kind of a disturbance, I think it's our right as the public and for us to make sure that they know as to what's happening with Sania and her life.
Alright, it is our right, but then again you're saying we are mature, the youngsters of today are mature, but let's explore whether the stars of today are mature to, not allow the media to get in too much of their lives. Are they allowing the media to come and, to pay that much of attention? And are they really craving for that limelight? What is the responsibility also of the media? We'll find out on the other side. Do stay with us.